Hello, good evening. Welcome to State of Affairs, streaming live on gh1tv.com. Join us with your contributions, questions and messages to the show by using the hashtag State of Affairs. Tonight, we are looking at the abuse of incumbency. What exactly constitutes abuse of incumbency? There are criticisms against the president that he's using the accounting to the people tour to campaign. He's justified it that he's updating the people on the mandate that was given to him to deliver infrastructure, and that is exactly what he's going around telling his people. So we'll find out tonight if that constitutes abuse of incumbency. In the meantime, let's take a look at some stories for this evening. The Asantehene Otumfuose II has asked the media to prioritize peace and development against allowing politicians to abuse each other on media platforms. Otumfuose II, who appeared unhappy at the persistent culture of insult, accusations and counter-accusations from politicians, suggested that politicians should only be allowed to appear on media platforms with 3 months to go in every general election. Otumfuose II was speaking during a courtesy call on him by executives of EIB.
Ghana man who sosne yenyinara yahyehyɛ yene ane yɛtranse ma yɛhyehyɛ nkrata sɛ mmara bi efre ne constitution no ne yɛde bebu maye na num yɛhyehyɛ sɛ emfie na bia yɛnto aba na obi anya amanyokuo na de obetumi akyekye mu so obeye ma ne yie no yɛde ama no yɛtro ne sɛ adan na adan ntokwa ne atemdidie enti na fe de ato sɛ manya ene Ghana behye sɛ menyew manyew epeye sɛ adan na aduru sa adan na ayɛ ntokwa seseye nyina so mafidie so ne yɛbɛka no okye da ka we no afrɛ ba ko ha na so wo sesɛ akwe sesɛ na ogina takra de gem no so ka bi am Rwanda obi eno a radio so ana kasa ma yɛ tweetu a yɛ twen se kan yɛ de kum yɛ nyinara anti politician for nko anti na be magana gyato mu ampa sese de enso anya kwan yɛ de bodawro na de na bɛboa magana akoso de na de asomdwe bɛba a memetie metimi de ayɛ de aboa magana anya asomdwe niema mu betimi de afidie no ne kasa na yɛ na dɔso bɛboa magana ma yakoso momie makwan ma politician for nko amadwumadwuma no anyi moso ne ensori ni atem kasa ma te sɛ de Ghana sɛ enu ni hɔ a ebe stop ne mun nyinara free Kwame Nkrumah pen so bepim ne ho ana atimi ayi kwan free mpo ano akosi pagada ye nyinara e free Kwame Nkrumah pen so besi ene bebie we hwan ya na osimi de mba mayi kwan pa free paga free suru ho aba besi mpo ano Cape Coast da obi aye ne de kakra na fe adan na nko afa Ghana mansa e wo mo fidie so mo so mo die na mo de boda romie ti de mesemo nei mo wonim die de mo ye ne ye nanso dawro no moma bi nko asomdwe so moma bi nko mpuntuo so moma bi nko ayarhwe so na de beboa ma mrante ne maba akra ye nya adwumayo saa ne mesa na beboa ma Ghana ma akoso enti mesem se mo hyehyɛ mo program no mo ahwɛ ne nyina yi ama na ayeye na aboa ye nyina.
We move on to other stories now. A ramshackle building is what the people of Isiaba, near Nswam in the eastern region, have been given out for use as a chips compound in wait of a proper facility to be put up by government. Sangmokitete spoke to the DC of the area about the chips compound and brings us this report.
The Community-Based Health Planning and Services Program, CHIPS, has been hailed as a brilliant strategy to bring health services to the doorsteps of communities. Ideally, every community in Ghana is to be provided with a community-based health planning and services compound. In cases where government has not yet put up the structure, communities are to, in the interim, provide a place to run the CHIPS facility.
Health is a key area for every community. Unfortunately, in Isiaba, this dilapidated structure is what has been given them to use as a CHIP compound. We are going in there to talk to the person in charge how they are managing with this facility.
The building for CHIPS compound appeared to be one that had been abandoned for years. No rehabilitation had taken place. We were told 2 community health nurses work here. However, at the time of our visit, only one was present.
Sometimes when the clients come, one have to stand up for the client to sit down. You'll be standing and working.
How many are you?
We are 2.
Where is the other person?
She has gone to submit reports. As for CHIP compound, is minor ailments like diarrhea, malaria. But if it's more than our level, we have to refer.
The nearest health facility was at Adeso, where they made referrals. Representative of the assemblyman in the area admitted the structure was not fit to serve the CHIPS compound purpose.
Why did you select such a pathetic building to handle healthcare?
Let me first of all say the district assembly is not doing well at all in this district, because before we were told that they are coming to build a CHIP compound for hospital, for clinic for us, and then they quoted a huge sum of amount, and up to date we've not seen anything. So it's the community that offered that place to be used for the facility, for the healthcare. But we wrote to the district about 2 or 3 times that the place is not good. At least they can, renovate the place for us to look very good. Because sometimes if you are sick and you get to that place, you get sick more.
He disclosed that talks are ongoing to acquire a new place. The DCE of Upper West Achim, Derek Ohene Bekoi, explained that when the short-term development plan was drawn for the district, the people of Isuaba preferred a market center to a CHIPS facility. Derek Ohene Bekoi added that this the district bought into, as that would generate more revenue for the assembly.
When we are planning, every community led by the assemblyman and the stakeholders, they meet and decide on their priorities. I'm sure the market, if it wasn't in their plan, we wouldn't have done it. Yes, yeah.
He listed areas in the Upper West Achim district that had CHIPS compounds, adding that Isuaba will also later get a decent facility.
Danso is there. Okurasi is the next town from here. It's almost is getting to roofing level. Okay. Then we have one at Etimetim. I know the contractor has been put wood on, waiting to be roofed. Those are the 2 projects selected for the year. Every year we do about not more than 3 CHIP compounds.
And finally, for our stories this evening, DC of Upper West Achim, Derek Ohene Bekwing, says that the bylaw on having a toilet built in every home is being enforced in the district to ease pressure on public toilet facilities. This was in response to an earlier report by State of Affairs on the lack of toilets at Isuaba, a community in that district. He spoke to Sangmoki Tete.
Each and everyone knows when you put up a place, either for yourself or to be rented, you have to provide the people with a toilet facility. I'm sorry, the assembly even shouldn't come into it, and it's now a bylaw in almost every place in the country. Public toilets are mainly meant for the bypasses, the visitors. So we've always been educating the communities.
He explained that the district is adhering to the bylaws that make compulsory the provision of a toilet facility in every household.
We do that through the permit system. Before you develop a facility, you have to bring your building plans and your land title plans, whatever, for the assembly to grant you the building permit before you can start development. And it's one of the main facilities that we look in the plans that they submit.
Do stay with us. We'll continue with our discussion right after this, because we'll be talking to Abraham Amaleba, who's a member of the NDC legal team, and also the Honorable Emmanuel Tremantin Ejakun. Stay with us. You're welcome back to the show. This is State of Affairs on GH1 TV and also streaming live on gh1tv.com. And tonight we are looking at what exactly constitutes incumbency abuse. The president is on a nationwide tour. It is called Accounting to the People. If you haven't seen the book, well, there's a digital version. It's on the internet. Look for it. And if you want to know exactly what the president has been doing in the last 3 years, well, government says it's all captured in this green book. And that's the theme for his tour, Accounting to the People. His critics, especially the NPP, say that he's abusing incumbency. He's using state resources to campaign. The president has justified it. He says it is not a campaign. He's actually telling the people what he has done. They put him in the office, and so he's telling them exactly what he has done in the last 3 years. And if you've been watching or monitoring the news, he's been commissioning projects. Today he commissioned one of the secondary schools he promised to build, one of the 200 secondary schools. Well, joining me in the studio tonight to discuss this particular issue is Abraham Amaliba, who's a member of the NDC legal team. It's good to have you back, Mr. Amaliba. And also the Honourable Member of Parliament for Ayawaso West Wogong constituency in the person of the Honourable Emmanuel Tremonting Ejakun. It's good to have you back in the studio as well.
Thank you for having me.
Right. And I first of all want to go to what your campaign manager for the 2016 election said. He's accused President Mahama of abusing incumbency with his Accounting to the People tour. So I want to start with you. I mean, if the president says that he's been in office for 3 years, and so he needs to tell the people what he's used their money to do, their taxes to do, how does that constitute abuse of incumbency?
Well, thank you for having me, and let me say a good evening to viewers. I really would have wished that you should have spoken to some lawyers or some political scientists prior to speaking to me, before speaking to me and Amalba, because obviously I know that we are going to have a heated debate here over this matter. It will all be colored politically. But I want to believe that within the law, there must be some definitions of what constitutes abuse of incumbency. And I also want to believe that in many jurisdictions, because they want to avoid a situation like this, there are clear laws, there are clear rules, there are clear regulations as to what the president can do and what the president cannot do. Unfortunately, in this country, I believe that we have not gotten there, or it has not come up yet. We have spoken about it. This is not the first time we are speaking about it. I think that in the run-up to the 1992 elections, you would find GV cars. Then the dominant force was the NDC. It was a military government that was trying to transition to become a political party and all of this. And I remember the issues about going to their meetings and all the GV cars parked there, and when they were on their campaign trails, all the GV cars that came along with it. There was so much noise. I want to be charitable and say that probably learning from those times, the rather overt use of the government machinery, as it were, has come down to a certain extent. I mean, I would say for myself that when I used to do public service and I was also contesting elections, I was mindful of it, so I used my own car, or sometimes I would even drive the official car. But when I got to my hometown, I would park it and use my own car because I thought it was improper it will constitute abuse of incumbency in a certain way. So I might not be able to give a very clear legal regulatory definitions, but I believe that they exist. I believe that in the literature, in the writings, it is something people have studied, so they have given the definitions and all of this. But coming to our specific case here, it is not just the MPP. Your reference was the campaign manager. I am reliably informed, and I believe same to be true, that even the Ghana Integrity Initiative is beginning to talk about it.
Well, I said some critics,
yeah,
including
okay.
the NPP.
Yeah, okay. I am also just trying to take it away from an entire political domain into. There must be some markers everybody is using. There must be some things we are all watching out for. His Excellency the President is the President, and nobody can take it away from him until 7th of January 2017, when he will cease to be President. He is President. Okay. And it is, I can agree that as he has some responsibility to all of us. But my considered view is it is the way it presents. He is going to account to the people of what he has done with their taxes. Indeed, when he goes, he doesn't even give those, he doesn't account for the way he has used our taxes.
So you want the cost of the projects?
No, well, I can come to that, but it is the way it is happening now. Look, everywhere he goes, it is full of party colors. And all of us see it on TV. So, and when the man goes, after he has said this, I have done this, and I've done that, and I've done this, and I've done this, accounting without giving
a breakdown,
then he goes on to say that this record stands in good stead for me, so vote for me.
So now he's campaigning.
So he's campaigning. I believe he's been to the Eastern region. He has been to the Volta, he's in the Volta region now, and he's been to the Western region. In all of these places, I do not know of one place where His Excellency the President went and said, well, I am coming to inspect this road. I hope that it will facilitate business. I hope that it will make your lives and living better. In every single place he has been, it is all about election 2016. I had your mandate in 2012, and I have done this, I have done that, I have done this, I have done this. So vote for me. Indeed, when he was in Abetifi, what did the chief say? The chief said that the challenge is that when the challenge with this country is that when we transition from one party to another in government, sometimes the projects tend to suffer. So as for him, he's saying that we should vote for President Mahama again, so that the hospital he is building with a loan, backed by the Export Credit Guarantee Department of the UK, so that and he makes it appear as if it is the man's own money he's using to build the hospital. No, it is a loan, and governments are a continuum. Then the chief goes on to say that as we want him to continue, by the time the elections hold, he wouldn't have finished. So we must vote for him again so that he will finish that one project in Abetifi. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. And then His Excellency the President will also confirm that I have done. So you vote for me again. This, I believe, is a clear abuse of incumbency. I say this because he is going on everything he's doing now is paid for by the state. The fuel he uses, all the people, everybody is paid for by the state. I want to believe that when he goes into a place, it is the responsibility of the region or the district to cater for him. I don't have a challenge with that. But if he is doing that as the head of state, but now we are saying without equivocation that the man is on a campaign trail, and it is improper.
Okay. Mr. Maliba,
Yes,
how are you doing?
I'm very fine. What's your question?
Is the president abusing incumbency? You listened to Honorable Chairman Tinye Jako, and he's actually catalogued a few examples that seem to point to the fact that the president is actually campaigning and not necessarily accounting to the people.
So let me say good evening to your viewers. I thought that when my colleague started the discussions and went down memory lane, I thought he would have done justice to this topic by also citing, he started by talking about the PNDC that tried to transition into the NDC and how government officials were parking cars. I thought it would have been fair to Ghanaians by telling Ghanaians that under the Kufuor administration, this topic also came up, and that no less a person than his own Hakman Owusu Agyeman complained that President Kufuor had provided a presidential jet to Alan Chirmantin to fly to Wa. That, for me, was an abuse of incumbency. That was when 17 of them were campaigning. And Hackman thought that that was a disadvantage to him because he also wanted to go to Wa, but he had to drive all the way when Alan was given a presidential jet. I thought he would have also mentioned when, at the tail end of Kufuor administration, we had Nana Akufo-Addo parading himself as a president with motorcades, leading him all over Accra.
Was he using official vehicles?
Sure. And there's a matter in court where he has been sued for using that vehicle during that period. You know that. So I thought that if we wanted to be fair, we would have, but this selective type of analysis is worrying. But is the president campaigning? The NDC has not launched its campaign. We will launch our campaign in June. And when we launch our campaign...
So why is he campaigning if you haven't launched your campaign?
No. Don't structure my arguments for me.
I'm not structuring it.
Yes.
I'm just
so let me flow.
asking you questions.
So we have not started our campaign and the president is not campaigning. In June, when we launch our campaign, the president will take off. And that is where you see. But you see, I can understand. This accounting to the people tour is hitting hard at the MPP. So they have become jittery. They are seeing that there's no light at the end of the tunnel. So what they will have to do is to attach this abuse of incumbency onto the president and try to water down the success stories that he has all over the country, and he's going around to do it. See, in 2012, the president used 3 months to campaign. Wherever he went to, the people of this country had some challenges they wanted him to address. In some of these areas, he had promised the chiefs and people that when you vote me in, I would address those problems. Come this year, the president decides that, look, there were some challenges facing our people. They have asked me to address them. I have addressed them. Let me go back to the people and tell them that these are the things that you said I should do, and I've provided them. Does that amount to an abuse of incumbency? So if the president goes to meet our folks, the ordinary Ghanaian drives the official car to go and meet ordinary Ghanaians and tell them that so far, for my first 3 years to 4 years, this is what I've been able to do. You say that is abuse of incumbency. Visiting his own people, the president visiting his own people, now becomes an abuse of incumbency.
How about the messages? The messages from the president. Let me read this one to you, and then you can continue. He says, and I'm quoting him here when he was in Hohoi, if you look at the track record and what we have been able to achieve it is phenomenal. So the president himself is scoring, he's giving himself marks. Accounting to the People tour has taken me to the western and eastern regions, and today I'm in the Volta region. And in all 3 regions, I have inspected projects, I have commissioned projects that have been completed, and have been asked by traditional rulers and the people to discuss other projects that they want government to undertake. And from electrification, water, education to livelihoods, definitely the work of this government is an enviable one. And then He continues, but I'll leave that part out. I'll bring it back later. Wouldn't you say that just this paragraph alone is a campaign message?
What is campaigning about? Telling the people that
what he has done in 3 years is phenomenal.
What I have done in 3 years is phenomenal, and that I will give you more if you vote me into power. He has not even said that. Is
that part of the message? No, he continues.
He has not even said that. But I think that if he had said that, there was nothing wrong.
He did, actually. But why would he ask the people to vote for him, to retain him in office, if campaigning hasn't kicked off? Why is he asking the people to vote for him, to retain him in office?
Has it now become an offense for somebody to praise himself?
Well,
Has it become an offense?
It's not an offense matter here, but it's like tickling yourself and laughing.
If I tell my students that I am the best lecturer,
blowing your own horn.
Yes, what is wrong with that?
Nobody is saying it's an offense.
Secondly, is it wrong for the president to say that you asked for these things and I'm giving them to you because my government promised that he would do that? It's no offense. Indeed, the first person who fired a salvo was Nana Akufo-Addo when he went to the Volta region and said that the NDC has taken the Voltarians for a ride and that the NDC has done nothing for the people of Volta region. Now, you want somebody who is contesting Nana Akufo-Addo.
It's not just him.
I'm saying that you want... Look, it's not just him. If a hunter is going to the bush to kill an elephant, he doesn't stop by killing rabbits. So we are talking about Akufo-Addo. All the other people are not going to are not contested. So why should I be talking about...
Dr. Pakwe says that you are running your campaign on the taxpayers' monies.
Did you hear my proverb?
Yeah, I did. I heard your proverb, but you cannot discount him.
That if a hunter is going to the bush forest to kill an elephant, he doesn't stop by killing rats and rabbits.
And ironically, Nanado is representing the elephant.
Good.
Okay.
So our focus is on the one who is trying to spoil our soup.
Or the person, the one who has...
Who has what?
The advantage to unseat the president. I think that's what you're looking... That's the line you're looking for. And not to spoil your
but that's really and truly. And their gari will be... We are putting sun in their gari, so...
If I need you to provide me with the exact words, I will tell you. But for now...
Well, we're having a conversation. Good. So when you twist it there, I have to bring you back. Yeah.
So, if Nanado fires the first salvo, you don't expect the president not to go to the people and tell the people that, see what I have done. Compare. Is it not better to compare records than to take cudgels and knives and stab each other?
Of course we
So we are comparing records. So the president is saying that, look, I have done so much work and it is there for you to see. And the records are there. In their 8 years, they've not built one regional hospital. Never. They can't say it.
You cannot do everything.
Good. So we are comparing. We are comparing. So I am of the view that what is hitting them hard is their inability to rise up and tell the people of this country that they will be better than the NDC if the people of this country vote for them. The records show that the president and the NDC government has provided so much that it will be difficult for them to pollute the minds of the people. So they've thrown their hands in the air. What I would have been expecting them to do was also to counter what the president is saying. But the evidence is there. They cannot indicate to the people of this country that if they come, they will be able to do more than what the president did. So they have now come to the realization that the war is lost on their side.
Okay.
And so they will have to tag the president with abuse of incumbency.
Okay.
But abuse of incumbency, if he is sitting here where a Hassan Ayarga man, APC, I would say, oh, he has never been in government before, so I can forgive him. If it were any of the other political parties, PPP, will say they've not been in government before. But abuse of incumbency.
So you expect people who haven't been in power before to say it before you accept it.
What is their track record for abuse of incumbency?
Does
What
that
have they
matter?
done?
Does that matter? We are not looking for equalization.
We are looking for people who would stand for what is good for the people of Ghana. We are not looking for people who are engaging arguments of convenience. It is not for the love of Ghana. No, but let me make this point.
Okay.
This abuse of incumbency is not born out of the love for Ghana. It is born out of...
How can you say that?
It is not. Because when they were in power, they did similar things.
So you have to do same.
And
I'm sure if indeed they did,
it is not
I'm
born
sure
out
you
of the
were
love
up
for Ghana. It is born out of the fact that they are looking for political power. If not, your track record doesn't show that you don't engage in abuse of incumbency.
Let me ask you one last question. This issue
it's
of
not love for power. Love for government.
Okay.
Or what do I say?
All right, according to you.
Love for Ghana.
All right, according to you. But Mr. Amaliba,
yes.
you say that because it's coming from the NPP and they have no track record, they have nothing to show that they didn't do something similar while they were in office. Let's put the NPP aside. There are civil society groups that are talking about abuse of incumbency. In your heart of hearts, would you all pause and examine if indeed there is a case to look at?
So if we are in an election year,
you haven't launched your campaign. The president is out.
If we are in an election year, does the president cease to become a president?
No, he doesn't.
So because we are in an election year, the president should stop working.
Nobody has said that. He still works. He goes to the office.
And if he's going to work, would he use the official car or not?
Of course, if he's going to work, he'll use the official car. But it's the language.
No abuse of incumbency because the man is working.
By asking the people to retain him.
By asking the people that you told me that these were your challenges. I have provided for them. If you retain
Well, he was put there to do something.
Yes.
He was put there to do something. Everybody's put there to do something.
You were put here to do what you are doing. And when you leave this studio, you ask people, did I do well?
I don't say that, I was phenomenal on the show.
No, but
you can
also say that. You can also say you were phenomenal.
Actually, I don't do that.
Yes, you can also say that.
I don't like
so that's what I'm saying. That for the
myself.
civil society organizations, my answer to them is, does the president cease to be president and does he cease to work because we are in an election year? We have not launched our campaign.
Okay.
If we had launched our campaign, you would say that he's campaigning. We've not launched. We would launch in June. For now, the president is accounting to the people and he's visiting the people. Since when has a president visiting his own people become abuse of incumbency?
Okay. Honorable Chairman Tejak, over to you.
Since when?
Well, sometimes I get confused with my colleagues' arguments. First and foremost, all they do is always an attempt at equalizing. Do you see where he started from?
Well, you left that part out.
If you are not fair in your presentation,
you left that part out clearly, Honorable.
Which one?
When you started from 1992, you didn't talk about the period when President Kufuor was in power. You didn't tell us if there was any case of abuse.
No,
you only gave us your example.
Yeah, I gave you my example.
Yeah.
And I think that the best example is my own self.
Right, but clearly at that time, there were voices that were raised about abuse of incumbency.
I would not say that. I would not sit here and pretend that there was no abuse of incumbency.
So you have mentioned it.
I am saying that in our first Republican experiment,
right,
it was at that transition that the issues of incumbency, abuse of incumbency came up. And indeed, it was I don't know the word to use. It was so obvious. It was with such impunity at that time. Because frankly, after all, they were just transitioning from a military dictatorship into a constitutional arrangement.
And
I want to believe that hangover was still there. I have stated clearly that the matter came up then. It has come through until now. Look, if somebody did something 20 years ago and it was wrong, along the line, after 20 years, if we have to sit for a whole 1.5 hours and speak to this issue, then as far as I'm concerned, what is happening is even worse than what happened in 1992. Because there is a history to learn from. At the very least, I can say that, after all, what did the NDC tell Ghanaians in 2008? They said that they were bringing a better Ghana. Let us assume without admitting that there was abuse of incumbency on our part. You told the good people of this country that you were bringing a better Ghana. And the expectation of the good people of this country is that abuse of incumbency will not be part of the better Ghana. So you fall on your own sword ab initio. You are the ones that told the people that these people are not doing well. The good people of this country listened to you and voted for you. You have come and you are doing worse. For me, that is the challenge. And I get surprised that Amaba would sit here and say that it is okay for the president to speak of his phenomenal achievement and therefore the people must vote for him. And this doesn't constitute an abuse of incumbency. You see, that's, when I was starting, I said that I would have wished that
We had spoken to.
you had spoken to an independent person. Then the parameters would have been set very clearly. But
do we actually have independent persons here in Ghana?
Oh, yes, we do.
Oh, yes, there should
Mr.
be.
Maliba, we do, and I'm sure you know a number
should
of
be.
them.
I don't know anybody.
You don't?
I don't know anybody who is not without any coloration.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like when Pesa White always presented as an independent consultant.
Oh, okay. So there are people you know who.
Okay. I am asking you.
Okay.
I'm asking you.
So-
Okay,
But
let's
I
go.
want to believe that there would always be people who will come under the cover that we are independent, but who are political. I agree.
Of course.
But I also want to believe that I also want to believe that there are people who would be completely independent and speak to the issues as it is. But I don't know what to say from here. That if Amaba thinks that the president can go and say, vote for me. After all, what is the job of what is the job description of the president? You must clearly remember that it is he that came to us. It was not revealed to the good people of this country that Mr. John Dramani Mahama was somebody that we needed by all means. He was a messiah that was coming. So we didn't go and beg him and ask him to become the president. He came and begged us that we should vote for him and make him the president of the republic. We did that and put the power in his hands. The power to levy taxes, the power to borrow money, the power to seek for grants and aid. So, shouldn't he build the roads? Shouldn't he build the schools? Shouldn't he construct the hospitals? And if you do,
Well, there have been accusations that he's taking money, he's taking loans, and he's not delivering. They're not doing exactly what they claim they're doing. So he needs to showcase them.
you see, if you want us to divert into that, if you want us to
It's
begin
not
to talk about,
diversion.
if you want us to begin to talk about the cost-benefit analysis of the projects he has done, we can do that.
Well, that's another topic.
see,
but
yeah.
if you say, and I've heard a lot of people say that he claims he has done A, B, C, D,
Yes.
but we cannot see them.
Oh, yeah, there are a
now
lot
he's
of-
pointing to them.
No,
He's
no.
commissioning them.
I think he started with the State of the Nation address when he started talking about how do you call it? When you brought the
Evidence-based.
people.
Evidence-based.
Evidence-based. When he started.
Yeah, so
as a state-
he's pointing to what he's used the loans for.
Yeah, but you see, as I sit here, Nanaba, I will not say, for instance, that there's not a new. I will not be able to say that.
Right.
That there's not a new district hospital in Dodowa. amongst my people. I will not be able to say that. I cannot say that a hospital, a district hospital is not coming up in Fomena, or a district hospital is not coming up in Abetifi. It is not possible for me to say that. A district hospital really and truly is coming up in Abetifi. So, but what we are saying, and we can get into that, but I don't think that that is the topic for this evening, is that our challenge is that if you do a cost-benefit analysis, if you do a costing of the projects he has, as against what he has had opportunity, revenue that has come to him, there is a disconnect. But I don't even
so he's
want
underperformed.
Yes, but I don't even want us to get into that. I want us to stick to the issues. His Excellency the President came and asked the good people of this country that we should place power in his hands. So if we do and you build some hospitals, if we do and you build some schools, after you have done your job, I think in the Bible there is a case of a servant who has, when he has finished his job, will say that I have done what is due, what I'm supposed to do. But the man is going beyond this and beginning to say that I am doing what nobody has done before. And so therefore, based on this, you must vote for me again. I think that when he does this, then he crosses the line.
Okay.
I have no challenge. Nanaba, in my opening statement, I said that he is the President of the Republic. Nobody can take it away from him that he should visit the Volta region. Nobody can take it away from him that he should visit the Western region. Because he is the President and the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. It is part of his job description. But he doesn't use that to go out there and campaign. And that is exactly what he is doing. He is using state resources. He is using our tax money to do this. It is wrong.
Okay. Mr. Maliba, before you react to that, and I'm sure you're itching to react to that, if the president says that he's going around to account to the people, I mean, the word accounting, going by the meaning, giving a quantitative information about the finances of projects, that's not what the president is doing. Is that what he's doing?
Oh, accounting is, you said you want a school because the children in this community have to traverse crocodile-infested ponds to go to school. Then he says that, oh, I didn't know that was it. So I will get you a school when you make me president. Then he builds one of the schools in the community. These children will no longer traverse the crocodile-infested ponds to go to school. He goes back and says, I said I would provide you the school. This is the school. That's the accounting. If you are talking about accounting in the sense that there should be figures attached to it, that's the work of the Minister of Finance. And the Minister of Finance does that and gives it to Parliament. Or he would come out with a budget statement and we can read that. So that's the work of the Minister of Finance. But the man that we are talking about is both the President of Ghana and a leader of a political party.
So there's a conflict?
There's no conflict.
Okay.
When the president meets his colleague presidents, he doesn't tell them that I have provided school for this community, I have provided school for this community. He doesn't tell them that. Because none of those presidents, his colleagues, accuse him of chopping money. None of those presidents accuse him of not providing for the needs of the people. None of those presidents accuse him of inflating projects. So he doesn't talk that way to them. But as a head of a political institution such as the NDC, and having an opposition such as the MPP, always telling the people of this country that, first and foremost, we have borrowed too much and there's nothing to show. Secondly, the things are there, we can see them, but they are inflated. Thirdly, that there's corruption. When the Transparency International says that Ghana and Senegal are the countries that have fought corruption and our percentage has increased, they say that this country is corrupt.
Increased marginally.
It doesn't matter. Increase is
It
increase.
does.
Now,
It does matter.
if you have an opposition that talks this way, you don't expect a leader of a political party not to quickly put on his political party cap
But at the
and
right time.
tell them that these are the things I've done, as compared to what the opposition is saying.
But at the right time, though.
Not at that cost.
What is the right time?
The right
Does
time
he
is...
cease to be president?
No, he doesn't.
Yes.
No, but why should he use our resources to respond to the party you talk about and to point to the things he's done and to tell the people to retain him in office? That is the whole issue here.
See, I told you that the president decided that I went to the people and they gave me a mandate. Let me visit them and tell them the things I have done. How can that be an abuse of power? He goes there and tells them that you asked me for these things. See what I have done. Compare that to other political parties. I have done so much. What is wrong with praising himself? Who doesn't praise himself? I praise myself.
You do?
I do. So he has asked the people that he's done so much. The consequence of that is, when you bring me back to power, I will do more. There's no abuse of power here.
Okay.
There's no abuse of it. Look, we're in this country when the late Professor Mills, may his soul rest in peace, decided to use, and I'm going to show you, expose the hypocrisy, decided to use his private car to the party headquarters to pick a form. Apparently, Professor Mills was trying to respond and be moderate in terms of the criticism coming from them. What did they say? That President Mills has put his life in danger. Doesn't he know that he's a property of the state and that anything can happen? The car he has used is not bulletproof. Nana, but you were in this country, you heard those things. I am trying to expose the hypocrisy.
It's not exactly.
The hypocrisy of these people.
It's not exactly.
These people,
It's not
Okay.
these people, they speak with two tongues. We all have one tongue, but they speak with two tongues. These people.
Nanaba, you see, I am surprised that a lawyer like Amaliba...
You will always
is
be surprised.
...is not able to distinguish between the president. He is the president of the republic. And the republic includes that it is everybody, the 10 million people, the 27 million Ghanaians. Out of this, in the last election, over 10 million people voted. And over 5 million people voted against him. He is my president. He is the president of the republic, of which I am part. Nobody stops him from doing this. But he will not use the money of the republic to do the work of his work as the leader of the NDC party. I am surprised that Amaliba cannot make this distinction.
I am shocked that you cannot also understand that Nana Akufo-Addo, when he was not even president, was flying out of this country, meeting presidents and all over, using state resources. I'm surprised at that time. You I'm shocked.
Did he use
I'm
state
shocked.
resources?
I'm shocked that that time you lost your voice.
No,
Okay.
I didn't.
You didn't
Mr.
have a voice.
Maliba.
I am shocked.
Why did he use
I am
state
shocked.
resources? Why did he
When he was flying to Benin,
Where?
to Benin,
In
to
what?
Togo,
In
to
what?
Togo.
In what?
In what? Oh, he walked. Nanado,
Oh, shame
Nanado
on you,
walked.
Amama.
Nanado
Shame
walked.
on you.
In fact, he rode a bicycle and crossed.
Oh, he walked. It is better. If
Yes.
you ride a bicycle, that's a better.
That time you didn't
Okay.
see. That time you didn't see.
all right.
You lost your voice.
But did you talk about it?
You lost your voice.
So you see what Amaliba is saying?
That is somebody who is not even president.
What Amaliba
That
is
is somebody who is not
saying.
even
What Amaliba
president.
is saying.
That is he is not even
What you are
president.
saying.
And you cannot
Okay.
say that at that time he was engaged in official duties. He was not
You
president.
are
saying- Okay.
He had resigned as a minister.
All right, we are
And
taking
yet,
a break.
He was using state resources.
When we come back, we'll
Let's assume
He was
continue.
using state resources.
We'll continue.
Somebody who is not a public official. Nana Akufo-Addo had resigned.
Okay, we
Nana
will,
Akufo-Addo
we
had
will
resigned.
Why didn't you talk
continue.
about it? If you thought it was wrong, why didn't
If
you
you-
talk about
We
it?
will
If you
continue.
want
Welcome back to the show. I'll take some of your messages and then we can continue. Nana Adams on Twitter says that the president is accounting to his people, then he should stop campaigning. Okay. I'm sorry. Let me just go here. Okay. Abdullah Mohammed says, please, next time. Okay, I think I will not read that message. Benjamin Yemo says, Mr. Maliba loves politics of equalization. What is wrong is wrong. One cannot detach abuse of incumbency from President Mahama. There's another one here that says that who doesn't abuse incumbency? President Rawlings did it, President Kufuor did it, President Mills did it, President Mahama is doing it. They should all give us a break. They will all complain. Okay. Abraham Jensen says that, Nana, but I don't think the MPP really has a message. They keep accusing the NDC every time they get an opportunity. What exactly is their campaign message for this election? Mensa Brown, who says he's texting from Insawoman, he says, Tanaba, say thank you to Sangwa Kitete for exposing some of the ills in our community. We are truly grateful to her. Right. So, Samokitete, that goes for you. Okay. Evans McNally says, I think Nana campaigned for 3 years before 2012 on his nationwide tour. Why is the president's tour an issue? Okay. But then he wasn't president.
Yet he was even benefiting from state largesse.
Which one?
2008.
Which one?
This was a man who had resigned as Attorney General. This was a man who was not a sitting president, but was given motorcade. We saw it.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Selam.
You were not in Ghana.
I was here.
You just came.
Selam Tali says abuse of incumbency is inevitable. All sitting presidents contesting for elections can't do without it. He's actually put it on Twitter as a poll, and he says true or false. So people should actually go and vote. Mr. Maliba, I'll come to the messages later. I have one question for you. If you launch your campaign in June, how different would President Mahama's messages be from what he's delivering right now?
When you see now, when you go to the functions, they are not festooned with party paraphernalia.
Oh, really?
No, they are not festooned. What we mean by festooning is to tie NDC, but NDC people wear their colors and come. Have you gotten the distinction so that we can proceed?
Yes.
Good.
I get your point. We'll
Good.
talk about it.
Yes. So you don't see the function is not festooned with NDC paraphernalia and those balloons and those things. Now, when we launch our campaign, you'll begin to see that wherever he goes to, and if it is a campaign, those things will be there. The grounds will be festooned with NDC colors. At that place, you will see party officials. The General Secretary and all those ones will be there trying to convince the people to accept President Mahama for a second term. His campaign message will be different to the extent that he will now be saying that the NDC party, so the NDC party will be, what will be the prefix?
Okay.
The NDC party.
And not government.
And not government. The NDC party is the one whose vehicle was used to champion these developmental projects. So the language will change. But for now, he's saying that I'm touching base with my people. You gave me the power. I'm touching base with you. When the president flies out of the country, you don't say it's abuse of incumbency. But when he
He's on official duty.
Yes, but when he visits his own people, it's an abuse of incumbency. They are jittery. The Texans have said there's no campaign message. And so they are now seeing that the president is beginning to show.
But he undertook some tours last year. He never mentioned that the people should vote for him, retain him in office last year. He didn't do that, but he touched base with them. He was pointing to projects he had undertaken.
Oh, but it depends. If, you know, he had promised 200 schools, 123 are at various stages of completion. This was a huge promise made to the people of this country. He's commissioning the e-blocks. And he's telling the people, see what I've told you. Look at them. I even thought that the president should have gone one step further to ask the people to compare that building to their hippie schools.
Why would he do that?
Exactly. So, you see, the president is not even abusing incumbency. See, he's not even abusing incumbency. And you are saying he's abusing incumbency. So, if you compare the track record, they have noted that it has dwarfed their track record. And so, the best to do is to begin to poo-poo what the president is doing.
Okay.
But I don't think the people are wise.
Chairman Tejaka, are you really poo-pooing what the president has done? I mean, there are some who claim that the NPP has not messaged, so you are hiding behind all these accusations.
Amalba,
Can you make your independent submission and stop Amalba?
No, but it's all about you.
No, it's not.
Your responses. I think that your responses. Your responses.
In fact, some of your responses are so warped that but I don't want to.
I think so. I think your responses are so out of place.
I don't want to deal with them. So
That
I want to tell the
defies.
people what the
It
NDC
defies.
has.
It defies the basic definition.
What you are seeing here, where he has no independent thought, but Amalba is what the NPP is doing. They don't have nothing.
I started.
They have nothing.
I started. But Amalba,
They have nothing.
Amalba, we must come back to the
Make
substantive
your
issue.
own independent submissions.
We must come back. We must come. You see, first and foremost, I think it is funny to say that anybody is jittery. If anybody is jittery, it is the NDC that is jittery. His Excellency the President, in the last 3 or 4 weeks, has had to visit the Volta region 3 times already.
Again, what is wrong with that?
They are just jittery. The reports they are hearing, the responses they are getting from their quote-unquote World Bank is not favorable at all. So if somebody is jittery, it is not us. It is they that have not been able to fulfill their promises to the good people of this country. They will say that we don't have a message. You see, Amalba will say that, oh, don't you know, Akufo-Addo flew in a jet to go to
Benin,
and
Togo.
And he used to do a motorcade. He said that.
Yeah.
You see, I ask.
Is that true or
Let
false?
us assume. First and foremost, I'll submit that.
Do you remember?
I submit that it is not true.
Hey.
A flag bearer never flew in a
private jet.
In a government jet. Oh, they are private jets.
Yeah,
here.
private.
They are private jets.
But
here.
for a government jet,
He never
plane,
flew in a government jet to go and do private business.
So how did he go to Burkina Faso?
He never did.
But I'm sure commercial planes go there.
He
Or
never
private
did.
jets go there.
But let us assume, without admitting that it was even so. You see, Amalba's posture is that, oh, it happened, we didn't talk about it. Why are you talking about ours? I think it is pathetic.
Well, he finds it
Really?
hypocritical.
Yeah.
Pardon?
He finds
Yeah.
it hypocritical.
I said what you are doing is not love for Ghana. It's love for political power.
Oh, so,
Because-
but tell me, Nanaba.
So if
tell me,
they are
Nanaba.
pointing to an
Nanaba,
L,
tell
it
me. So
becomes-
NDC, it's Amalba saying that NDC is an NGO. That NDC
Where is this coming from?
is Salvation Army.
Where is this
The
coming
only
from?
reason why you see, I can't.
Where is this coming from? I'm saying that
Your
the
arguments. I am
hypocrisy-
saying that
the
your arguments are
hypocrisy-
so warped, Amalba.
the
Your
hypocrisy
arguments are
in
so
what
warped.
you people are doing.
Look, that we are not doing this for the love of Ghana, but for the love of power. So the NPP should not. The only reason why a political party exists is to contest and gain
Yes.
power.
So deceive the people, and then they will give you
Oh,
power.
so
And
last-
then you will do it like how we are seeing in Nigeria. That
What has happened in Nigeria?
Oh.
You are comparing yourselves to
Oh.
Nigeria.
Oh.
I
You've
don't
not
even
seen-
want to go into
you've
that
not
one.
seen-
What has happened there?
Medofua
You are
Dadam.
so you are so
We-
afraid of what is happening in Nigeria.
Yes.
I mean, in Nigeria,
Medofua
you had
Dadam in
you had
Nigeria.
a 57 President Mahama's friend Jonathan completely broke the economy.
they are queuing for fuel. You know that.
Oh, but is it the first time they are doing it in Nigeria?
Ah.
Oh, shame
So
on
you
you!
want us to bring you to power to say,
Shame
oh,
on
they
you!
want to queue for fuel.
You see,
Ghanaians will not queue for fuel.
you see,
They won't
But
queue for
why,
fuel.
why do you think?
Why do you-
We won't
the-
queue
the-
for
I
fuel.
mean, I'm
Ghanaians
struggling to
are
find the
wide
nexus.
awake.
I really can't find the nexus here.
What is the nexus?
That I don't know.
What is
that
the nexus?
If NPP comes to power, it will be like Nigeria.
Yes.
What is
because
the nexus?
I'm
You
just-
see, these guys.
Wait.
You
This is it,
Abba,
this is it.
wait.
No,
I think
be
I'm not-
careful for what you ask for.
Oh,
Else, when
you
it
see,
comes, you cannot handle
they
it.
are so
That's what
afraid.
we are saying.
They are so
They should
jittery.
be careful.
These people
These
are
are
so
people-
afraid. They are so jittery.
These
One
are
at a
people.
You see, the
time.
comparisons
people
are stuck.
These are people
A
who said-
56, 57-year-old
finish.
friend of President Mahama who ran down that country.
What has age got to do with it?
Who ran down that country.
Okay, his
Today,
age has nothing to do.
I'm not talking about
no,
age.
you see. So now they
He's
are talking
talking about
about
age. He's
now,
talking
so
about-
so they
I'm
are
not
talking
mentioning
about So that is what they are doing.
Okay, all right.
You see,
But
when
you
they
see,
were,
let
you
me-
know,
But Mr. Maliba, 1 minute. I'll come to you soon.
Ababa, when you speak, I keep quiet. I think you must.
Sorry.
Respectfully, I think you
Sorry.
must
He's
learn to be civil on
apologized.
this.
Sorry.
He's apologized. Okay.
You know, he says, so it is convenient for them to say you don't have a message. Oh, as for us, we haven't launched our campaign. When we launch our campaign, our message to the good people of this country will be clear. It will not be, all they can tell the good people of this country is, "Idebi keke." We will have a clear message with clear timelines and how we will arrive there, like we did in 2012.
Okay.
and lost.
Okay? We will have a clear message with clear timelines, with a clear budget of how we will take Ghanaians from where they are into the deprivation that they have come in the 8 years of the NDC government.
Do Ghanaians believe you?
Oh, I think they do believe us. I have no doubt in my mind that Ghanaians believe us.
But you did the same thing in 2012. They didn't vote
We
for
did.
you.
We did. What did we do in 2012?
You outlined clearly what you were hoping to do for Ghana.
But you see, you will always not
but
win.
you were rejected. Okay.
You will
Of
always not
course.
win. I mean, the fact that you didn't win an election doesn't mean that you can't do it again.
Right.
We believe that we are better positioned today than ever
Okay.
to win the election.
Let's even
You know,
examine-
and then, but I want us, the number, somehow, I think that we must keep the focus. Let me state clearly again that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is the President of the Republic. And he can go anywhere. But when he goes on our resources, he cannot do campaign for NDC.
Okay.
He cannot go out there and say, vote for me again. Then he is acting as a leader of the NDC party. He really and truly is. But His Excellency the President cannot have his cake and eat it.
Okay. Mr. Maliba.
Let's even examine their 2012 campaign. They don't have now, but he's talking about 2012. It was
Amamba, is that what we are talking about?
SHS.
Is that what we are talking about?
Everything at that time was free SHS. When they asked the
And
question.
what did you say?
When you asked
It's a
the
big
question,
cake. All you
I
said
thought the
was,
rules were set by you. That if one is talking, the other should not talk.
Amamba.
Let me remind you of your own
Amamba,
rules,
is
the ground rules.
you see, when you do it to your
No,
friend, it's okay.
I apologize, and I thought that was going to be the end.
When I have also
But
heckled you a little, I'll
When-
apologize.
That's what I'm saying. That
Okay.
when
Mr.
you
Maliba,
point,
all this is eating into your time.
Yes. So the free SHS was their campaign in 2012, and everything centered on free SHS, to the extent that a question like, "How are you going to reduce maternal health, maternal mortality?" Then you say free SHS. So you see, you simply do not have a message now.
Well, you can reduce it.
A better educated woman. The evidence is there.
Let me
A
talk.
better educated woman,
It's well informed.
well informed.
So is that how it was articulated? Now the point is that
You see, the man doesn't
point-
even
the point
understand.
is
Say
that-
what- oh,
the point is that
It's pathetic, Amamba.
we have overwhelmed them.
Right.
They have come full cycle to realize that what the man is doing is unprecedented. How then do we match him? We can't match him. So what we will do is to tag him with this incumbency abuse issue. But the people are discerning.
Okay.
The people know who is delivering.
All right.
And
Let's
the people will vote for the one who is
okay.
delivering.
Let's pause now and take our countdown to the 2016 elections by Ben Efson.
The EIB Election Hub. Expect more.
Who says politics is not madness? If we see a president dance Yagbada, we think he's dancing for nothing. the line between, that is a situation in almost all situations where you have a government or a president or a prime minister trying to get elected for the second time round. As the incumbent president, definitely you not let a stick lie down when a dog wants to bite you. The same way, definitely an incumbent president or prime minister will attempt to, whilst commissioning projects for the people, both MPP and NDC use it, he will try and use it, to show what his government has done. It happens in the US, it happened during Rawlings' time. He went for a second round towards 1996, it happened. President Kufuor did it when he was going for the second time in 2004. At that time, they will go around, yes, they will show what they've done. At the same time, they will also use it to show the people what they've done. Rawlings did it, Kufuor did it, Mama is doing it. Whoever comes, whenever he's second, the person will do it. Otherwise, I will walk. If you think that the incumbent, is wasting his time, I'm sure Rawlings will tell you, Mami wasting my time. Because then what they are doing, they are showing to other people by virtue of pictures or television images. That is what they've done. So yes, it is always done. This is the advantage side. But what is the disadvantage? Yes, there's no coin with one side. The MPP has been trying, but they've not been able to be focused on it. The NDC has the Green Book. Some of them are artistic impressions. And the MPP have been trying to show that some of the artistic impressions have not, as at now, been manifested. Because they've not been focused, I just say, no, it's not effective, he's wasting his time. Let him waste his time. I always say that for the good side, there's always a bad side to an issue. You can take advantage. That is why the various parties, CPP, MPP being the major political, they must be focused. Because by saying that it's not necessary, that is your view. Go to where maybe the roads have improved, foodstuffs can come to the market more easily, cocoa is being evacuated, clinics are now being refurbished. To use wasting your time, you have one vote in Accra. You have to try and find out ways you can make, because in the past, this is not the first time it's been there, in the past, parties with good research teams at any given time have been able to work, especially during the Rawlings second attempt, 1996. The MPP was then in opposition. They were very hungry for power. They had a very effective machinery of trying to counter. Thereafter, they've been slacking. The ball is in your court. See you tomorrow.
The EIB Election Hub. Expect more.
And just to give you a hint that sometime next week we'll be launching the EIB Election Hub in a city. We'll take a break now. All right. Okay, yeah, it's almost time. We're just about wrapping up. But any comments on Benefson's countdown tonight? He's made some input in our discussion for tonight. Honorable Ejako, you don't agree with him?
It's his opinion. It's his opinion.
Right.
It's his opinion.
Okay.
I don't.
That's the third time you've said that.
Pardon? Yeah, it's his opinion. I
okay.
don't.
That makes it four. Mr. Malibu, yes.
Benefson was damn right. He indicated that the abuse of incumbency is difficult for one to say that a president will not abuse his office. And
it's a bit tricky.
It's a tricky one. There's a thin line. And he says that it's all over the world. Some countries do it. The US, they do it. But what he said, which for me is instructive, is when he indicated that there are two sides to a coin. While the NDC may be using the incumbency as an advantage if you have an opposition that is strategic and an opposition that is hungry for power. They can also play it against the president. But for now, we don't have it. He cited the 2000, when Kufuor was coming to power, how the use of incumbency was used to negatively by the MPP to come to power. Are we seeing that now? We are not seeing it. Oh. We are not seeing an opposition that is well resourced to counter the kinds of things that the ruling party is doing. And so if you throw your hands in the air,
but when they do, you say they don't have a message.
Yeah. When we do, you say you don't have a message.
It is
when
in the message.
When you do,
you see,
when you do, you say that you are hungry for power. You see, as if the MPP is Salvation Army.
You see, the last time that we had a situation where you had an opposition that was so strategic and took advantage of the incumbency issue to its advantage, there was a message. And that resonated. Today, what message do they have? Ma ba 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 sa. How? Anaba. How can this counter?
Is that the message?
That is the message.
Really? Is that
ma ba 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 ma misremo ma ba 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 sa. How can that turn around huge hospitals that have been built? How can that
which is your
turn
responsibility
around?
anyway?
How can that turn around the E-blocks? That cannot.
Oh, you think so?
Go back to the drawing boards. Admit, it's not yet too late. It's late, but not too late. Go back. My advice to you, to the drawing boards. And strategize and come back.
You asked me. I
no,
said,
you said you have nothing.
No, I really and truly have no comment. I mean, I don't expect anything to be said. So it's fine. I think that we know what to do. We have advised ourselves. We will go ahead and do what we need to do. I will say without equivocation that change is an idea that has come. It is a time. It is a time.
There's change happening.
Oh,
change is happening.
It is an idea whose time has come, and nothing, absolutely nothing. It is not how much they twist the things. It is not how much they say the things, but change is coming.
There are no two types of changes. Change is already happening. Change is already happening.
Is it?
Yes, change is happening, Nanaba. Nanaba, I'm sure you drive on some asphalted road in Accra here.
Yeah, actually.
Yes. Is that not change, Nanaba?
A lot of them.
When we close, I see you past a Kwame Nkrumah circle to your house. Yes. Haven't you seen that?
Is he stalking me?
No, it's not about that.
There's a flyover, so that is change.
Oh, that's not change.
Well, it's development, isn't it? Honorable Ejafo. It is development.
It will make traveling from here to anywhere easier. I agree.
I mean, I can't wait for it to be completed.
You see, it is like Nanaba.
Oh, you think it's exercise in mediocrity?
It's an exercise in mediocrity. A complete exercise in mediocrity. It is like me. I have children in the house. Then I will come here and hit my chest and say that I provide for my children. So was I expecting Amalba to provide for the children?
Well, because there are some irresponsible fathers out there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh.
So if the father says that I'm providing for my children,
but you see, you use the word irresponsible.
Yes.
You are completely out. The responsibility of the father is to provide for the children. The only reason I told you, President Mr. John Dramani Mahama, he's not a messiah. He came and begged. And we have reposed that trust in him. He has borrowed money. He has borrowed so much money. Money that no government has borrowed before.
Yes.
He has had access to revenues that no government has had before.
He says he's investing them in infrastructure. He's not sitting on the money.
To whom more is given, more is expected. The Green Book.
Much is given, more is expected.
Yes, Green Book.
Okay.
Well, this Green Book, if you look at page 86,
Mr. Madiba,
you see,
Mr. Madiba, this
when
Green
you go
Book,
to the,
is it for government or for the party?
You will find
who printed this? Is it the party or the state?
None about sure you've seen the coat of arms.
I know.
The Ghana flag.
So we use state resources.
NDC flag.
So we use state resources.
This is not Ghana
flag. It can never. No, the NDC flag is not as beautiful as this.
Yes.
Yeah, but so you use
state. It's a state property.
Document. Yes. It's a state document. Yeah. Okay.
From the Ministry of Information.
Thank you. That's all I was looking for.
But you see, if you look at page even an artist impression is an achievement for them.
Oh yes, which is better than monkey
achievement.
Which is better than monkey.
Oh, by the way, Honorable Ejako, have you seen the Cape Coast Stadium? I mean, we need to give
it's
it
like
it is beautiful.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Oh,
it's like Old Trafford.
It is like Wembley.
Wembley.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Old Trafford.
No,
you know,
like
me and you share the same, so
it's the same
I thought
team.
it was Old
Yeah.
Trafford.
You see,
it's beautiful.
An artist impression.
But that's not an artist impression.
Oh no, I'm saying that if you look at page 86, an artist impression of the whole airport.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's,
I
it's,
saw
it's
that
an
one
achievement.
earlier.
Yes.
This is where we have been reduced to.
We have told
that an artist impression.
This one here.
No.
It is an artist impression. And today they tell us that this is an achievement. You see, I can sit here tomorrow.
The problem is
I can sit here tomorrow and tell you that I'll buy a jet.
The problem is
okay.
Okay.
And
you capture the railway sector. How much work have you done on railway?
The problem is this. We have shown
but this is where
because we have shown concrete things, we are also showing you what other things we can do. That's it.
The good people of Ghana.
Thank you very much,
yes.
Mr. Abraham Amaliba.
Yes.
Member of the NDC legal team,
yes.
and also the
Communication
honorable,
Both.
Both.
I have two
legal. You have what?
2 posts. Legal team and communication team.
You're shopping big money.
And what again?
You're shopping big money.
No, that's okay. For the party, 2. I mean, 2. My legs are.
And
officially?
Huh? Officially, which boards are you on?
No, that
you're
is
not on any board.
That's not for public consumption.
So you're on some boards.
That's not for public consumption.
It be for him.
Yeah.
It be what?
It be for him.
No Ababa. No Ababa.
Oh, how would they want Ababa?
No Ababa.
How would they want Ababa?
Honorable Chairman Ting Ejako is Member of Parliament for Ayawaso West Wogon constituency. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
It was a pleasure.
Yes, absolutely, a pleasure. We'll see you same time tomorrow is Thursday. And yes, I have to tell you, tomorrow the show will be coming to you live from the British High Commissioner's residence. We'll be doing State of Affairs from there because it's the Queen's birthday and the theme is Partnership in Progress. So it's a business edition of State of Affairs, and Kweku Timin will be at the British High Commissioner's residence talking to Ghanaian and British businesses. Do join us if you can. Have a beautiful.
I was reading about you and him.
You're reading about Kweku Timin and
No.
Oh, John and I.
Yeah.
The bloggers are not serious. Some of them are really not serious. It was just mere banter. Anyway, so we'll see you tomorrow. Have a nice evening. Tales from the Powder Room is next.